Biafran movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. So stop trying, I need people to stop trying to mash us into one. There is a divide already on this movement. Before IPOB, there was MASOB. How did MASOB run their agenda so peacefully? But when it was time for the IPOB, we are having chaos. The East is not what it used to be. We can't travel anymore. The UGMs are in play. The ESN are in play. My state is in shambles because I am from the same state as he is.
Hello everyone. A viral clip is making waves online, showing a young woman boldly calling out Nnamdi Kanu and distancing herself from the Biafra agitation. According to her, the Biafra struggle is not a unanimous Igbo agenda, and many people from the region do not support Kanu's approach. In the heated video, she goes further to accuse Kanu of plunging the entire Southeast into confusion, claiming he single-handedly pushed the region into disarray with his actions and directives. Honestly, this lady exposes a truth many have been whispering. Not every Igbo person supports the Biafra movement or Kanu's method. Her claim that Kanu threw the Southeast into disarray may be controversial, but it reflects real frustration. People are tired of insecurity, economic setbacks, and constant tension in the region. Agree or disagree, her voice shows one thing clearly. The Southeast is deeply divided, and more people are beginning to speak up openly. This clip isn't just a rant, it's a sign of growing dissatisfaction and a shift in public conversation. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
A video of a young woman calling out the convicted IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu has gone viral on social media. In the clip, which was released on Tuesday, the woman stated that the Biafra movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. She then condemns Kanu directly, saying that he single-handedly put the Southeast in disarray. Let's take a look.
The Biafran movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. So stop trying, I need people to stop trying to mash us into one. There is a divide already on this movement. Before IPOB, there was MASOB. How did MASOB run their agenda so peacefully? But when it was time for the IPOB, we are having chaos. The East is not what it used to be. We can't travel anymore. The UGMs are in play. The ESN are in play. My state is in shambles because I am from the same state as he is. You can't come out on Mondays anymore. You move, you get killed. Why is nobody saying anything about that? We are more worried about one man who put the whole of the East in disarray for doing the wrong thing. There's tyranny, there's treason. Are we going to advocate for a tyrant? You want a cessation, you do not go about it the legal way, and you put everybody's lives from the East into problems, and then you want us to stand behind violence? Has any of you taken the time to listen to Nnamdi's radio channel for 1 hour and hear the amount of hate? The hate! If I'm not in support, I'm not in support. You can't use my political ambition or my political stance to hold it against me that I'm not speaking up.
Well, online, Dr. Abati, some have said, that a lot of Southeasterners feel the same way she does, but won't say anything publicly, while others question how his life imprisonment will stop the violence or improve the condition in the southeastern states. Your thoughts on the two stories?
Quickly, I think the lady from Abia State, she's from Abia State, should be commended for her boldness, for her courage in expressing herself. In that video, she started by saying Igbos are very smart people, book smart, street smart, business smart, and that nobody should accept or assume that every Igbo person, just because he or she is Igbo, is supporting the Biafra movement. And it is wrong to keep saying every Igbo person should get into this trap of emotional responses that seems to be dominant. And she's not alone in this regard. Senator Oji Uzokalu, when he commented on the subject, said exactly the same thing, more or less, to say that about 30,000 lives have been lost. Who is going to account for that? Livelihood has been disrupted in the Southeast. Who is going to account for that? and that people should just stop saying, oh, because you are Igbo, then you must support Nnamdi Kanu emotionally. There's also the case of Ms. Oge Onugbogu, who gave a testimony at the U.S. Congress, who made the point that, look, the situation in Nigeria is far more complex than is being reported, and that we should avoid the error of the single narrative. Now, it's the same thing that that gentleman that you quoted, Zagosala Makama.
It's
Okay.
an analyst group.
Makama is an easier name
Period.
to quote. Saying that, look, they don't look at the crime. They look at who the perpetrator is. And he's talking about stereotyping. That in every community, you have bad and good people. You have criminals, you have extremists everywhere. Now, 2 priests were killed in the East. He says he has not heard anything about them. Nobody is saying anything. People are silent, including the most vocal persons commenting, because it doesn't fit into the narrative of Christian genocide. Because in the East, in this case, it will be the
Christian against Christian.
It's Christian against Christian.
Yeah.
And the perpetrators, of course, owned up to the responsibility. They claimed responsibility.
Yes, sir, yeah.
So he said, why is nobody talking about that? And that's just one example. There will be many. So there will be many. So I also think Mr. Makama, is making a very good point about the need for care, about the need for people to just be careful, and not just be unusually emotional. Yeah. He said they talk of Fulani herdsmen all the time. Who is talking about the Igbo killers too?
Now, let me say this in the simplest and clear term as much as I can. Okay? I want to register this to everybody so that you understand and get it. Okay? Because I've received a lot of comments in regards the last video I did in regards Nnamdi Kanu and whatever, despite the fact that a lot didn't even understand what I'm saying. But they are just foolish enough to come and lay insult and talk all sort of rubbish. But let me tell you this. Nobody carry me come this social media. I'm not here to promote anybody's agenda. I'm not here to take side. I just have one agenda, which is humanity. Betterment of humanity and nothing more. So if you're thinking, some are even saying, yeah, I'll unfollow you or whatever, as if you are following me is adding anything for me. The last time I checked, the reason why you follow me and we share information, I say my mind or whatever, is with the hope that we get to understand ourselves better and desire or demand for a better country and nothing more. But if you are expecting me that at any point in time, in short, if at any point in time, all I'm saying is 100% by everybody, that means there's a problem. So what am I trying to say in this regards? In regards the judgment of Nnamdi Kanu, this is going to be my stand. And nothing is going to change my stand. The fact that in the spirit of general fairness, do I feel he deserved the sentence he got? I will tell you that I don't feel so. And why? Not because I not because I think or I believe he has not committed anything wrong. Because in the spirit of fairness and justice, in the sense that the government decided to embrace a path of actually pardoning some of the radical elements that we think they deserve this kind of punishment as well, right? And nothing more. Secondly, the prolonged detention or whatever, and a lot of other variables. But in the spirit of coming out to say that, no, because everything he did was good, was smooth, I will tell you 100% no. The fact is, was the agitation on some reasonable grounds? Let's put it, let's not even say agitation. Let's even say, because when I look at it, let's tell ourselves the truth, it's more or less like a revolution, right? Was it on a reasonable ground? Yes, it was, to some certain extent. But was the method without fault? Totally no. The methods were faulty in some certain areas, right? If this one will pain you, I am telling you whatever you're going to feel about it, I don't care. You know they feed me, I know they feed you. You know they pay me, okay? And you are not the person that brought me here. So in that regards, I tell you no. So now talking about revolution, there are two pathways to revolution or agitation. You have the gradual and you have the forced, right? In my own concept, I believe more of the gradual revolution. Gradual revolution is non-violent in nature, and at the same time, it has to do with total overhaul of the human element, first of all, the individual element, first of all, and other factors that surrounds him, right? But when you talk of the first now, that is where you now have traces some violence and some violent resistance and the rest of it, and of which I'm not a party to this. And if I must tell you the truth, for whoever at any point in time embrace the latter option, which is the violent option, you should equally know that there is nothing like you don't allow yourself to be taken to the court. And that is just it in that regards. So, but what I'm just trying to say generally here is, I am not happy, I am not celebrating that an Igbo man has been sentenced to life or whatever. But what I'm saying is, as far as my stand remains, my stand is the generality of humanity which comes through a gradual and a deliberate conscious effort. And in that regards now, that involves the entirety of everybody, every Nigerian, right? I don't want us to talk. I just hope people are more reasonable and more open, right? And I think we can now have a conversation. But when you come with your myopic point of view, you are expecting me to just take things because this is the way you feel or whatever. I will never. Just like when I was going at loggerheads with other things that affect the society at a point in time that is not related to you, you were cool. It was good. So when this one comes to, you should be good with it, or if you are not good with it, at least keep it to yourself and leave the insult, right? But if you do insult, I'm telling you, me, I'm master of insult as well. But I don't like going that way. So I just hope my stand in regards this is very clear. Very clear. So the fact is, generally, there is need for we to hold the government accountable to make them to do more. And in regards achieving a social change. There are ways to go about it, a lot of ways that at the end of the day, if the human element can change, the goal is achieved. And that is just it. And to the tribal bigots that are celebrating this judgment on the basis of tribal bigotry, don't join me in your celebration, please. And don't think that this last push sweet you. Oh, but well, at the same time, even some say Malam, you can't trust Malam in any way. All of a sudden now become Malam. Malam cannot be trusted now, so all of them be. But that is none of my business. To the tribal bigots, on any part of the tribal bigotry, count me out of the celebration of he has been convicted to life. Because I am not celebrating that. And in my own opinion, the government have not been fair in dealing with all these issues. And that is just it. And I think, had it been the government is more deliberate and more proactive, these issues wouldn't have given birth to a lot of these things we're witnessing. Not just the present. Most especially, the complication arises even from the past government, if we must tell ourselves the truth. The past government created and established all the grounds for all these things. And that is, that is just it.